to Paris News. Paris is the capital and most populous city of France, with an area of 105 square kilometers and an official population of over 2 million. Since the 17th century, Paris has been one of Europe's major centers of finance, diplomacy, commerce, fashion, science, and the arts. The city of Paris is the center and seat of government of the Paris region, which has a population of over 12 million, which is about 18% of the population of France. According to the Economist Intelligence, the cost of living in 2018, Paris was the second most expensive city in the world after Singapore. Paris, often referred to as the City of Light, is especially known for its museum and architectural landmarks. Received 23 million visitors in 2017, ranked the third most visited travel destination in the world in 2017.
Macron pension reform. Paris has been paralyzed by a massive strike. The French capital is seeing huge jams and massive crowds on the few metro lines running as transport workers strike against planned pension reforms. It would replace dozens of different pensions. 10 of the 16 lines were shut and the service of the other were disrupted. The strike has been the biggest since 2007, the first act against President Macron's plan for universal pensions. Workers even strike or stay at home. They're facing over than 200 kilometers of traffic jam just in the Paris region. Travelers have reported the surge in prices of taxis or Ubers to retire earlier. It has been negotiated since decades ago to compensate for having to work long hours underground. Metro workers used to retire at 55, while most of the French workers retire at 63. The move will also remove the most advantaged pensions for a range of jobs, like sailors. Prime Minister Edouard Philippe insisted that the reforms would be fair for everyone.
It's going on a fuss after some French protesters urged police suicides. Paris authorities are investigating yellow vest protesters who encourage police to kill themselves. The yellow vest protesters identify themselves in French as les gilets jaunes, and this movement began when there was a rising in the already high fuel prices. The protest began as peaceful demonstrations but turned violent and destructive in Paris. On Saturday, September 14th, Associated Press reporters heard some protesters in Paris shouting "Kill yourselves" at police. These protesters were firing tear gas and rubber projectiles at the 23rd weekend of Yellow Vest demonstrations. After this, a statistical approach was launched, showing that there is a police suicide every 4 days since January of this year. Paris police are confronted by social deprivation and hierarchical stress, without the possibility of regular rest and having a proper life. The Yellow Vest protesters spread to become a broad movement against high taxes, where protesters see themselves as standing up for the poor, while President Macron is seen as representing the rich.
Europe heatwave. Paris records its highest temperature, which is considered the hottest and the highest in the city's history, and it is of 42.6 degrees, which surpassed the previous record, which was considered the highest before, of 40.7 degrees. It is the second intense heat wave to hit France in less than a month, and it is actually caused due to a phenomenon called urban heat island. For example, not only in France, but Germany has a high temperature of 41.5 degrees in the northwestern town of Lingen. In the Netherlands, the temperature is of 40.4 degrees. This effect is caused by a lack of green space in the city, which causes buildings and roads to absorb heat from the sun and emit like radiators at night. This means that the city is unable to cool down during prolonged heat waves. 5 deaths have been attributed to these extreme temperatures, including a 33-year-old homeless man. These extreme heat waves will become increasingly common, according to climate scientists, who warn that human-caused climate change makes such events twice as likely to occur.
Now, in a cultural note, Paris opens underground museum to mark the 75th anniversary of liberation from Nazis. The former military command post was abandoned for 75 years. For 8 days in August 1944, a disused bomb shelter beneath the streets of Paris became the central command post of the French resistance. Decked out with 250 telephone lines, a bicycle-powered generator and an airtight door, the underground bunker allowed leaders of the resistance to secretly coordinate the liberation of Paris from its Nazi occupiers. In the 75 years since, the historic space has been largely forgotten by French authorities and Parisians, with 100 steps leading down to the headquarters sealed off and abandoned after it was no longer needed for the war effort. On the anniversary of Paris' liberation, the former military command post was reopening as a museum to commemorate this dark, chaotic, but ultimately hopeful period of the city's history. The Museum of the Liberation of Paris takes visitors on a journey through this glorious, tragic. Paris' major mentioned Parisians of today and tomorrow will understand the ideals and in some cases the sacrifices of these eras of the past for the values of the Republic and democracy. Thank you for joining us today. Please tune back in tomorrow. Thank you for watching Paris News. Good night.